Greetings, I'm Kim Odie, and I teach baking classes at North House Folk School. Today I'm baking at home, and I'd like to share 3 key steps to making the best bagels ever. Bagels are a popular draw in a class I teach on small breads. It's a class where we also learn to make pretzel buns, English muffins, and a tear and share loaf that can double as a table centerpiece. Bagels are a little unusual in that they need to be poached in simmering water before being placed in the oven. If we put them right in the oven, they would blossom into these pillowy buns. Poaching sets the crust, and that keeps them from expanding quite so much in the oven, and that's what gives us the dense, chewy texture that we love in a bagel. So the first step toward success is to shape a well-formed dough ball. A well-shaped ball of dough relies on creating surface tension. This is going to keep the shape. So I take a portion of my dough, lay it over my finger, and just gently start pulling down and around, pinching the dough beneath my finger. Just going around. You can cup it in your palm and then just bring all the edges up. You don't want any open seams. And then just to seal this, I will lay the dough on the counter, cup my hands, little downward pressure, and just rotate it a few seconds, and you end up with a nicely shaped ball of dough with good surface tension. Let me show you one more time. Portion of dough, lay it over a finger, bring the dough around and down beneath my finger, pinch it together, creating that nice surface tension. Seal the seam, and there you go. Now comes the fun part, making the holes. I'm going to press down with my thumb right in the middle of the dough ball. This creates even more surface tension. Then bring it up on my forefinger and rotate. We're really letting the weight of the dough do the work. And you want a hole that's a lot bigger than you think it should be, because that's going to shrink during the poaching and baking. Let me show you once more. Thumb down, up on the forefinger, and rotate. And yes, it is possible to fling this across the kitchen, but the poaching and baking will take care of any germs. Now the poaching process begins. I brought 3 quarts of water to a boil and then reduced it to a gentle simmer. I've also added some barley malt syrup, which I get at a home brewer store. You can also get it online. And if you don't have that, you can substitute brown sugar or a little molasses. It's not crucial, but adding a little sweetness to this poaching liquid gives the crust a distinctive flavor. So now we're going to poach the bagels 4 at a time, for a total of 30 seconds, 15 seconds on each side. And I always put my bagels in top side down. It's not a rule, it's just the way I do it. So we'll let them bob around for about 15 seconds. And then just flip them over. Now I know it seems so wrong to be putting dough into hot water, but here's the reason disaster doesn't strike and why it's crucial. The hot water transforms the flour's natural starches into a gel, and this creates a barrier that keeps bagels from getting soggy as well as expanding too much. Then after 15 seconds, I'm going to take them out with a slotted spatula, tap it a few times to get rid of any excess water, and I put it on a baking sheet that I've prepared with some baking spray and cornmeal. That gel I talked about can be a little sticky, and the cornmeal acts as a kind of little ball bearings to keep it from sticking in the oven. Now at this point, we'll brush the bagels with some beaten egg white. That's going to give the crust a really nice shine. It also helps hold any toppings you want to put on to the bagel. Then in a 400-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes, and we have fresh homemade bagels. And here we are, homemade bagels, fresh from the oven. And whatever bagel recipe you like to use, I hope the tips on shaping and poaching inspire you. And I hope to see you in one of my upcoming baking classes at North House, where the kitchen looks out on beautiful Grand Marais Harbor. It's a wonder we get any baking done, but we do.